Most people think milk is the best way to keep their bones strong. But in Japan, many elders who rarely drink milk stay active and mobile well into their 80s, even though joint pain and arthritis are part of everyday life. Their secret isn't a supplement or a pill. It's something called Shio-koji, a natural ferment made from rice, salt, and a friendly mold called koji. Shio-koji looks simple, but inside it, thousands of enzymes are working. These enzymes help your body break down food more efficiently, absorb calcium better, and reduce the inflammation that weakens bones over time. In Japan, people don't eat it by the spoonful. They use it as a seasoning to marinate fish, tofu, or vegetables, turning everyday meals into a natural source of probiotics and minerals. It's an easy swap that quietly supports bone and joint health without changing your diet completely. What's interesting is that Shio-koji was almost forgotten. For decades, it was something only traditional cooks used. But recently, Japanese doctors and nutritionists have been bringing it back, showing that it naturally boosts the body's ability to absorb nutrients, especially calcium and protein, two essentials after 60. Unlike milk, which some older adults struggle to digest, Shio-koji is gentle on the stomach and helps your gut flora thrive. That's why many Japanese elders rely on fermentation instead of dairy for maintaining mobility and strength. And the best part? You can easily make it at home or find it in Asian grocery stores. A small spoon in your cooking routine can make a big difference over time. In this video, you'll learn why this forgotten ferment works so well, what science says about it, and how to use it to protect your bones and joints naturally, the Japanese way. At first glance, Shio-koji looks like a simple white paste, but inside, it's full of living enzymes that quietly transform how your body absorbs nutrients. When rice, salt, and koji mold ferment together, they release natural enzymes, mainly amylase and protease. These help your body break down proteins, fats, and starches more efficiently, turning your food into nutrients your cells can actually use. That's why older adults in Japan often add Shio-koji to their meals instead of using plain salt. It adds flavor, supports digestion, and improves nutrient absorption, especially calcium and protein, two essentials for bone and joint health. After 60, digestion slows down. Even when you eat healthy foods, your body doesn't always absorb everything. Shio-koji helps fill that gap naturally. By pre-digesting the food, it makes nutrients easier for your gut to absorb, without any pills or supplements. Recent studies in Japan show that enzyme-rich ferments can improve calcium absorption and reduce inflammatory markers linked to arthritis. That means less stiffness, better mobility, and a stronger foundation for aging well. Unlike dairy, Shio-koji is also gentle on digestion. It contains no lactose, no preservatives, and actually supports the gut microbiome, the good bacteria that influence bone and immune health. Another quiet advantage is its taste. It brings natural umami, that pleasant, savory flavor, allowing people to reduce salt without losing satisfaction.
For seniors watching blood pressure or inflammation, that's a real benefit. So while milk focuses on calcium alone, Shio-koji works more holistically. It supports your digestion, nutrient absorption, and inflammation balance, three foundations for healthy aging. That's why, in Japan, many elders say, health doesn't start in the bones, it starts in the gut.
You don't need to live in Japan to enjoy the benefits of Shio-koji. It's one of the easiest ferments to use, no complicated recipes, no strange ingredients. If you find it in a store, it usually comes as a creamy white paste in a small jar. To use it, simply replace salt or marinades in your cooking. Add 1 spoonful to fish, chicken, or vegetables before cooking. Let it rest for a few hours, and you'll notice two things. The flavor becomes deeper, and the food becomes softer and easier to digest. For a homemade version, mix 3 parts cooked rice, 1 part salt, and 3 parts water. Then add koji rice, available in Asian markets or online. Let it sit at room temperature for about a week, stirring once a day until it smells slightly sweet and savory. That's it. No special equipment needed. If koji rice isn't available where you live, you can still apply the same principle. Try fermented seasonings like white miso, sauerkraut brine, or plain yogurt marinades. They also provide enzymes that help digestion and nutrient absorption. The goal isn't perfection, but consistency. Adding a small spoon of ferment to one meal a day can support your gut, improve calcium absorption, and make your joints feel lighter over time. Even tiny habits, like replacing salt with something alive, can quietly shape how your body ages. For decades, Japan almost forgot about shio-koji. After the 1960s, as modern sauces and processed foods filled the market, this ancient ferment was seen as old-fashioned, something only grandmothers used. But in the last decade, it has quietly returned to Japanese kitchens, first through small health stores, then through top chefs, and finally into ordinary homes again. This revival started when Japanese nutritionists began comparing traditional diets with modern habits. They noticed that as people ate more processed foods and less fermented rice or miso, rates of joint inflammation, fatigue, and digestive problems increased. So, they started looking back, not to trends, but to tradition. In 2012, Japanese media called Shio-koji a miracle seasoning. It wasn't marketing hype, it was a rediscovery of something simple that worked. Restaurants began using it to tenderize meat naturally, while health enthusiasts appreciated how it supported digestion without added sugar or artificial ingredients. But beyond nutrition, this comeback tells a deeper story. In Japan, fermentation represents patience, letting time and nature do the work. It's the opposite of fast results. And for many elders, using shio-koji again feels like reconnecting with a slower, wiser rhythm of life. You can see this shift in cooking classes for seniors across Tokyo and Osaka. Instructors teach not just recipes, but mindfulness. Stir slowly, let it rest, taste the change. This small ritual gives people a sense of calm and continuity, something modern life often lacks. The return of shio-koji also reflects a new generation learning from the old. Younger Japanese adults are now preparing their own ferments at home, realizing that health doesn't come from imported supplements. It comes from local, living food. And they're doing it for the same reason their grandparents did, to stay healthy, mobile, and connected to something natural. Today, you'll find shio-koji jars in supermarkets, next to modern condiments, a quiet reminder that progress doesn't always mean moving forward. Sometimes it means returning to what worked all along. For anyone over 60, this revival carries a clear message. Aging well isn't about chasing new trends, it's about respecting what your body already understands. The more naturally you eat, the more naturally your body heals. That's why shio-koji isn't just a seasoning. It's a philosophy, one spoon of patience and one jar of wisdom passed quietly from generation to generation. Fermentation isn't a trend in Japan. It's a quiet habit that shapes how people age. When used regularly, shio-koji and other natural ferments support three things that matter most after 60: stronger bones, smoother digestion, and calmer inflammation. First, the enzymes in shio-koji help your body absorb calcium and protein more effectively. That means the nutrients in your meals, fish, tofu, eggs, or vegetables, are actually used to maintain bone structure instead of being lost in digestion. Over time, this can help slow down the natural decline in bone density that comes with age. Second, the beneficial bacteria in fermented foods keep your gut healthy. A balanced microbiome doesn't just affect digestion. It influences everything from inflammation to energy levels and even mood. That's why many Japanese elders say that when the gut is calm, the body follows. Third, shio-koji helps reduce silent inflammation, the low-grade inflammation that contributes to joint stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Because it replaces processed salt and chemical flavorings, it naturally lowers sodium intake and supports circulation. This makes daily movement, walking, stretching, cooking, feel lighter and more natural over time. The benefits aren't instant. They build gradually, through small, consistent choices. That's how most Japanese centenarians live, not through extreme diets, but through gentle discipline. They eat fresh foods, chew slowly, and allow fermentation to do part of the work their bodies once did easily. Modern science is now catching up with what Japanese tradition always knew. Studies from universities in Kyoto and Tokyo show that people who consume fermented foods regularly have better gut health, stronger bones, and fewer inflammatory markers as they age. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. That's the beauty of Shio-koji. It turns cooking into a form of self-care. Every jar represents patience. Every meal becomes a small act of prevention. And while no food can stop time, Shio-koji reminds us that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean balance, rhythm, and quiet strength built one meal at a time. Shio-koji isn't a miracle food. It's a quiet reminder that health can be simple. A spoonful in your cooking adds more than flavor. It adds enzymes, minerals, and balance. For many Japanese elders, this small daily habit keeps digestion smooth, inflammation low, and movement easier. Not perfect, just lighter. If you're over 60, it's never too late to bring a little of that balance into your kitchen. Fermentation isn't about age, it's about patience. And sometimes, that's all your body needs to keep moving gracefully. To explore more traditional Japanese anti-inflammatory foods, you'll find practical recipes and guidance in my ebook below.